Welcome everyone. Today we are going to feature the creative digital agency behind the newly transformed Shangri-La Circle by the Shangri-La Group. My name is Shaina and together with Danica, this is MARKETECH APAC Top Story. Shangri-La Hotels and Resorts, the global hospitality brand, has recently launched a complete revamp of its loyalty program Golden Circle to now be called the Shangri-La Circle.
And with this, Shangri-La Group said it aims to transform the program into being more than just a loyalty program, but a powerful and aspirational direct-to-consumer travel lifestyle platform. In order to present this fresh value proposition online, the group tapped Singapore-based creative digital agency 8traordinary.
To know more about how the agency crafted and strategized the digital campaign, here with us today is the agency's founder and managing director, Jeffrey Lim. Yes, hi Jeff, we're very pleased to have you. How are you?
I'm good, busy, but I think so glad to be invited here. So really happy and excited to share what is going behind the scene and stuff like that. Again, thanks for having me.
First of all, congratulations on heading the digital campaign for the new Shangri-La Circle. What a notable rebranding initiative, given the global reach and impact of the brand. So before we get deeper into the conversation, can you first walk us through the initiatives that make the digital campaign and what for you is the heart or the main spotlight of the campaign?
Obviously, I think the first change you probably notice and realize is that previously it was called the Golden Circle. The new name is now called the Shangri-La Circle. So apart just from the name change itself, we want to basically move this cookie cutter type loyalty program to what we now call a lifestyle platform. So in the past, you think about loyalty program is always about clock certain number of points, certain number of spend, certain number of mileage. Then you get to basically be rewarded. But I think what we want to do is to change this whole approach, and we see ourselves as curators of the good life, where we offer our members, our target audience, the ability to discover, to basically also experience our Asian hospitality from the heart, and definitely for different unique individuals, how then do we look at providing that kind of experience. So we see Shangri-La Circle as the gateway to help one discover their Shangri-La, which is their good life. The key focus would be on 5 key pillars, where we're trying to make this platform now more flexible. In the past, you have to basically clock up X number of points for you to be able to redeem or to transact in a way. But now, with any amount of points, you can actually make full use of the whole platform. We want to make it more simple so that you can understand the point system. Some loyalty program, you have to look at the point system and try to decipher and understand how much value do you have within the system. So we want to kind of kick that out as well. One of the key things about a luxury brand or an experiential brand like Shangri-La is that we want to offer recognition and privileges to people who want to enjoy experiences, things that they can't buy with money in life. And lastly, what we want to do is to provide convenience, whether is it through desktop, mobile, wherever you are, you can actually access this platform very easily.
Now, we are very much looking forward to how you're going to lead their digital campaign. Now, we believe you've done creative digital work for a number of brands and, of course, for different verticals. And we also understand that you've developed work previously for the group, specifically Jen by Shangri-La in December 2020. And now it has expanded into the entire Shangri-La group. So, what have been the unique challenges and successes you have experienced in managing the digital marketing of such type of brand?
You rightly mentioned we were invited to work with Jen by the Shangri-La back in December 2020. And this is where Jen first started the whole rebranding exercise. This whole rebranding message is about living new Asia. So you think about in the past, probably as Asian, we are slightly a bit more inferior to maybe who we are as Asian, our personality, our traits, our different unique selling point. But I think we've come a long way. Being an Asian, we need to be proud. We need to know the various kind of culture and offerings that we have, and then how do we then merge and combine this with the modern Western culture as well. So the Living New Asia rebranding exercise was something that we want to present. We were very privileged, and I think it was a very exciting project for us because we were looking for a hospitality brand to be able to adopt what we believe as well, which is like if you think about travel or hospitality, when was the last time you travel or you make plans for travel and we think about the community, we think about the country, we think about the culture, we think about the offerings, We think about the various kind of destinations within a specific country, and therefore we want to go to that country and then think about where to stay. When we first started this approach, we were really excited when Jen came to us and we took this on. But what was the key challenge back then was this rebranding exercise happened right smack at the start of COVID when lockdown happened. Think about hospitality, hotel, accommodation industry when everybody are not allowed to travel. So that was one of the key challenge. And we had a few discussions with Jen, Shangri-La, and then we decided that, hey, why don't we bring such experiences, such content, such offerings through the various online platforms, specifically in our case, social media. So like we were also thinking about there were more than 700,000 hotels and resorts around the world, countless numbers of loyalty programs, tons of content, but then how do we differentiate? How do we find the right platform to present this unique selling point and unique proposition that we have to the rest of the world? This was the challenge and how we look at basically tackling the challenge as well.
All right. I actually love that you said it's all about, content and experience and how it compels your prospects and your consumer to engage within the company. Now, speaking of content, we know that the unprecedented variety of content available today makes it much more challenging to capture people's attention online. So what do you think is the best strategy for a certain campaign to stand out? And how did you incorporate this into the rebrand launch for Shangri-La Circle?
Billions of content uploaded on the internet on a daily basis. At Extraordinary, we constantly think about how do we create value that doesn't just add value to the brand or the account that we represent. Also, on top of that, we ask ourselves how do we add value to the users and the viewers who are viewing this content? So with this key objective and mindset, we constantly think about how do we then translate the brand experience to them, presenting something that is more authentic, something more awe-inspiring, something that will give you that wanderlust feel, and definitely something that is more ground up versus what a brand wants to do from a top-down perspective. And I think lastly, because it's hospitality brand across different countries, we want to ensure that each of this content is very well localized for the local community.
So it's really about making it authentic and making sure that the content is custom fit to a particular consumer group's needs and wants. So I understand that influencer marketing is such a huge part of the campaign. You tap not just a few KOLs, but actually more than 150 key opinion leaders across different countries. So what have been your criteria in choosing the KOLs, and how did you aim to localize the amplification by the influencers in each market?
Influencer marketing, or what we call KOL marketing, has been a key to marketing or for many brands in this modern era. So for us, one of the key criteria when we work with Shangri-La Circle is that we want to look for personality or individual who are authentic, and we want to look at how can they use their passion and their authenticity to influence. Because if you think about current days influencer marketing, a lot of time many brands and many individuals or even many KOLs focus on amplification. So case in point is I have X number of followers, therefore I can help you derive at X number of impressions, Y number of engagement. But yes, I think those are all good but then we think about those kind of metrics can be easily achieved from what we call advertising or paid media. What we really want is that we want to bring out what this individual, in terms of this KOL or this influencer, is all about, what he or she is passionate about, why are their followers following this person, and use that passion and that influence to basically cross over to what we're trying to present for our target audience, in this case Shangri-La, which is to live the good life. Every individual has different vision or different types of good life they want to basically live, right? And therefore we don't want to just limit to maybe a few macro influencers who are super famous and then present this brand story that we have. But we want to showcase to the world that whoever you are, wherever you are, however you want it, there is a specific good life that we at Shangri-La can present to you in its own unique way. So this is one of the criteria we're looking at in terms of selecting the KOLs. Obviously, we're also looking at the different representation group in different community, different culture, different geographical location, different interests, like I said, interest with passion, and then using that, how do we align with SLC's value and authenticity. In our case, they are really free to express their own content, their own creativity in their own authentic way. We look at partnering them rather than paying them to help amplify our message. because we want them to be able to show us what their kind of good life is to their own community, to our target audience.
Yes, what a massive influencer campaign that we have here. And as you said, content engagement, it's best when it's authentic and localized, much like that what we're seeing here with Shangri-La Circle. So, Jeff, we're now heading into a period that people are calling the post-pandemic. So we want to know your thoughts as a marketing creative leader. How do you think digital marketing has evolved in this period? And what do you think is the trend brands must focus on as we move forward in the new normal?
I think in the past, many brands, when we talk about marketing, we always look at what we call the push strategy, which means that we have a product, we have a message, we have a unique selling point, and we try to push this message to our target audience and our customers, right? But I think after pandemic, and we realized that our wellness is something that is more important. And I think this is what makes UGC, like user-generated content, or even what we call user-first approach, even more important. So whether you're advertising, marketing, creating content, I think the first key approach and understanding is that we need to understand how to help the users or present something for the users to understand that we are actually looking at their individual interests first and foremost, rather than the brand message. So it's also more about how, as a brand, this is my vision, this is my goal, how can I align with you as a customer, as my member? How is it that as a brand, I can also care about the various issues you as a user or a customer have through the various offerings that I have? So as we are still recovering from pandemic, like now there are like climate change issues, there are inflation issues, there are even like health issues floating around. I think brands need to understand some key areas in their approaches where I think consumers and the general public will be more concerned about health and wellness. I think the next factor or issue is affordability and the value of what a brand or the brand's product and services can bring to a user. As a brand also, we need to start thinking about how our offering can impact or help basically save the environment or the planet. The fourth point would probably be, how can I contribute to your society and community? And lastly, I think we want to really enhance and bring that experience that we have that is very unique to you as a customer. I think these 5 points: wellness, affordability, value, looking at how do we save the planet, how do we save the world that we live in. The fourth point, society, community, and the last point, experience in summary. I think these are some of the key areas that we should look at post-pandemic.
I think you're right, Jeff. The consumer is much smarter now, and they want brands to be more than just brands, but an extension in the platform of the relevant advocacies that matter, just like what you've mentioned.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Shai. And with this, it's really important for brands to be, strategic and authentic in supporting causes that have a strong connection to the brand's value. And, they also have that responsibility of educating or enlightening their consumers on why this certain issue is important to them. Once again, Jeff, we are excited for Shangri-La Circle, which is a truly promising all-in-one lifestyle platform. And of course, 8traordinary with your leadership will definitely bring justice through your highly engaging and innovative digital campaign. Now, before we let you go, Jeff, we are excited to know what more can we expect from Shangri-La Circle's campaign in the coming months.
Join us, be our member, and you probably know more. We'll be looking at different ways to surprise, to delight, and reward our SLC members, definitely on a monthly basis, so we can look forward to some surprises. There will be a lot more campaign that will come out focusing around, how we can bring this vision of the good life, wherever you are, wherever you are, across the different platforms that we are basically managing. Once again, join us and you will be delighted and surprised.
All right, thank you so much, Jeff. We are definitely looking forward as the campaign further unfolds with more amazing initiatives. It was really great to learn how you aim to translate the brand's new personality into creative stories online.
I agree, Danica. It was amazing to learn more about the inner workings of a digital agency, and we can't wait to see more of what the new Shangri-La Circle has to offer. So thank you for being with us, Jeff, and all the best to 8traordinary.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Have a good day, everybody.
All right, so there you have it, our top story. If you have an interesting story to share in the areas of marketing, tech, platforms, and SMEs, please email us at editorial@marketech-apac.com.
Also, be part of our growing community and follow us on our social media channels. This has been China with Danica, and see you in the next episode.